Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about a topic direct cost. Friend, this topic is very easy to understand and today we will see this topic with respect to project management, PMI or PMBOK. We will see this topic in detail with respect to project management. Friend, let me tell you that this topic is very easy to understand and you can easily understand this topic. And if you are a student and already studying project management in any university, or you are planning to give exam of project management, or especially if you are planning to give exam of PMP, so this topic is very important, friend. And you will definitely see this topic in the exam or of PMP or in the university exam. You will definitely see this topic, direct cost. Also, if you are a professional project manager and working in any organization as a project manager, so friend, cost is very important. As a project manager, you should be able to manage or control the cost, and you should able to take decisions according to your budget or your cost. So as a project manager, friend, you should be able to manage the cost. If you are not able to manage your cost and your concepts related to cost are not clear, friend, let me tell you that you can't be a good project manager if you don't have a proper grip on the cost. So as a project manager, if you are planning, if you are already working in any organization as a project manager, you should have a complete grip on the project cost. This is very important, that you should have a grip on the cost of a project. So friend, let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. What is direct cost? If you see just from the definition, or just see from the term cost direct cost. See friend, uh, if you are a student of project manager, I am sure that you have heard about the term triple constraint. Friend, triple constraint is a term which means three things: scope, time and cost. Friend, whenever we are talking about triple constant, we are referring to these three terms: scope, time and cost. Why we always refer these three things: scope, time and cost? Because see friend, these three things are the most important aspect of project: scope, time and cost. Why? Because if there is any change in the if there is any change in the scope, there will definitely be an impact on the cost or time as well. So these three factors, scope, time and cost, which is called as triple constraint, they are interlinked with each other, they are interdependent on each other. So that's why it is called as triple constant, because these three factors are interlinked or interdependent on each other. So now, friend, you can understand that cost is so much important, that you can imagine that cost is very important, because it's a one factor of triple constant. Now see friend, uh, we can just have to discuss about direct cost, which is our main topic. So friend, direct costs are expenses that a company can easily connect to a specific cost object, which may be a product, department or project. This includes items such as software, equipment and raw materials. It can also include labor, assuming the labor is specific to the product, department or project. See friend, here if you just see from the definition term direct cost. So friend, direct cost is an expense that can easily be, you can link to an object. For example, if you purchased a software for your company, so that is called a direct cost. If you hire someone to do something for your factory or your organization, so it is a direct cost. Why direct cost? Because just see this definition, that these are the expenses that a company can easily connect to a specific cost object, or you can say a cost head. So that is why it is called as direct cost. Again, I will explain it to you. Direct costs are expenses that a company can easily connect to a specific cost object. For example, if you have purchased a software for your company to track the to track the performance of employees, so this is called the direct cost. If you have purchased an attendance system for your company so that you can track the attendance of your employees, so purchasing of attendance system is a it belongs to direct cost. You hired some specific resource as a, for example, as a software manager to manage the software projects of your company. So hiring of that person, the cost pertains to that which you are giving as a salary is a direct cost. So what is the criteria that how we can decide that it is a direct cost? It is the criteria, it is the direct cost are the expenses that a company can easily connect to a specific cost object. See friend, if you can connect a cost object with the expense, so that means that it is a direct cost. And for example, if you are purchasing a specific attendance system for your company to record the attendance of your employee, so the cost which you are putting to purchase some software, this is the direct cost. Okay, for example, now see a few example, it may give you more clarify the concept. For example, if an employee is hired to work on a project either exclusively or for an assigned number of hours, their labor on that project is a direct cost. Like for example, if you are the employee is hired based on the contract basis or the permanent basis, etc., but the hiring of an employee to work on a project, for example, you have got a project to implement a e-commerce solution, so you hired a software manager and three developers. So hiring of software manager, hiring of three developers, why? Because it pertains to a project management, project implementation, so that is called a direct cost. If your company develops software and needs specific pre-generated assets such as a purchased framework or development applications, those are direct cost. The same example, like if you purchase some software, any software, like for example attendance system to record the attendance of your employees, uh, any other software, so these types of software purchasing pertains to direct cost because you can relate it to some cost head, cost object, so that is why it is called as a direct cost. For example, as a very another example we can see, for example, assume Nancy Metal Plating Incorporation is a chrome plating business that plates rims for one of the food factories. On Tuesday, Nancy pays the bills for the company. She first writes a check to pay for new plating tank and chemicals for a new contract that is coming up in the next month. Second, she writes a check to pay for the utilities and rent. Third, she makes the payroll checks for the plating workers and the office staff. Just see from here, she is making three bills. Okay, so now try to understand from here the equipment and chemical purchases as well as the plating workers salaries are all considered direct cost. Why? Because they can be all be attributed to this new job or a plating process. Are you getting my point? Like she has made three checks. What were the checks? She first writes a check to pay for new plating tank and chemicals for a new contract that is coming up in the next month. Second, she writes a check to pay for the utilities and rent. Third, she makes the payroll checks for the plating workers and the office staff. Now see from here the equipment and chemical purchases as well as the plating workers salaries are all considered as the direct cost. Why? Because it pertains to some cost head, some cost object. So that is why we are considering this as the direct cost. Then next is that the utilities, rent, office salaries can't be traced back to a job or product, so they are considered indirect cost. Why we are calling it as a indirect cost because it does not pertains to any product, project, any job. So that is why we are calling it as a indirect cost. Just try to understand the concept. If you can backtrack the cost of an object with some product, with some project, with some implementation, with some job, so that means it will be considered as a direct cost. If you can't relate it to some product, project, job, objective, task, so you can say it as a indirect cost. Just remember one thing, that direct cost means you can relate it to some cost object, some project, from some product, some you can say as some head, cost head. So you can say it as a direct cost. So friend, I hope I have tried my level best to explain you the concept of direct cost in a very easy to understand manner, so that it can be helpful for you in the exam or in your practical life of project management as well. So thank you, thanks a lot for your time. That's all from my side. If you still have any question, please do ask for me in the comment section. I would love to answer your queries. And thank you, thanks a lot for your time, and that's all from my side.